From the 108 production.
Studio before I started. This is me. I am me, MySoxSummer, and I'm coming to you live right now. And I know I did not give you guys a lot of warning because you know what? It's been a day. It has been a day. So we got up, went to the gym, came home, grabbed the kids, well, took a shower, grabbed the kids, took them to Costco, went shopping, had lunch, went shopping, picked up all the gifts that I needed to get. Then we came back. We went to Mariano's, bought some other stuff that we couldn't get at Costco, came home, dropped all the stuff off. I then left, went and got 2 new pairs of glasses. So you'll be seeing a speckled MySoxSummer coming soon. I got some really nice glasses coming. And then I went to pick up my new poster. You can't see it, but it's the Pope right there. I'm gonna have to do some rearranging so you can see the Pope. The Pope is up there now, and I came home, and then I drove my wife to her Christmas party tonight. The kids are upstairs watching their 4th and 5th shows of the day, which is big no, but it's the first day of vacation, so you're like, what the fuck? Let's just see what happens. So I apologize for not giving you guys more advance warning. Oh, I actually went to the team store today too to pick up something for my father. Whoa! So I've been all. I saw Benita Stakey. I saw Mad Max and his wife. I saw a lot of people today out there in these streets. Costco today because there was oodles of people at Costco. I know that's shocking. Okay. It's shocking that there was oodles of people at Costco 3 days before Christmas, but we were there and some woman starts pushing her way through while we're all waiting to go into like the lines to like check out. And she's like, excuse me. And it's like, my kids are right here too, lady, you dumb hoe. We're all waiting to do the same exact fucking thing you're doing, which is go to check out. We're all in the same world. I was a little upset, but luckily I calmed myself down. I did not do anything. This actually is a nice Grateful Dead sweatshirt. I found it at a thrift store for like $5. But tonight, this is the inaugural edition of Gimmie 3. And this is something that I've been working on for years, at least 2 or 3 years. Loaf was like, you need to do this. You need to do this show. I'm going to call it Test Drive. And that was where it started. We were like, you're going to do this. You're going to have guests and you're going to talk to guests and you're going to do best show. And you're going to be behind the wheel of a Mazda. You're going to be driving around because we want, we like to give back to our sponsors. And I was like, yes, this sounds great. The logistics of trying to get the, okay, what I want to do is I want to have like a memorabilia type show. And it's like, you give me your top 5 memorabilia items and I'll come to your house and we'll talk about them. You can show me whatever. And then I was like, 5 seems like a lot. Well, let's do 3. Then I was like, I'm going to go to like, I got a bunch of collector friends. I'm like, I'm going to go to these people's houses. I'm going to check out their shit. Again, logistics just really, really hurting the MSS here. It's really hard to get that shit done. So I'm finally, by the end of last year, I was like, I'm just going to do this myself. And I'm going to do me first. And then if it goes well, we will have like an antique roadshow type thing where maybe I'll go down to Orland Park at Mazda and they'll set me up in their showroom and people can bring in their 1 item or 3 items or whatever. And we'll show off whatever your stuff is. Okay. So that's been the brainchild. This is what I've been doing. So this last weekend, I put all of this together. But it wasn't that hard because so if you want to go down there, if you That would be really great. And for some reason, the internet is being a big dick, but that's okay. We'll see what happens. We'll see how this all goes. So if you just write it out with me, okay? Write it out with me. With a little bit of some ad magic from our good friends, Mazda of Orland Park. I swear to God, yeah, I just hit it, and it's my internet is just running really slow for some reason. This Christmas, give yourself or someone you really like the gift that keeps on giving, the thrill of a new Mazda. Sleighs are great, but Mazda's got all-wheel drive, sky-active technology, and that unmistakable zoom joy you can't get from reindeer power. Unwrap incredibly holiday offers on your favorite models, Mazda CX-5, the Mazda 3, and the CX-90. Plus, right now, Mazda is offering special holiday financing, generous trade-in values, and warm cookies and hot cocoa. House Mazda of Orland Park has a perfect vehicle to make your holidays merry, bright, and unforgettable. Stop in today and drive home the magic. Mazda of Orland Park, where the spirit of the season meets the joy of the drive. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom. Now I have a drop, and I haven't used it yet. And I will at some point. But I'm going to put the contents. I'm going to throw these up here. All right. We have the comments on the screen. Disconnect LimeWire. I don't have LimeWire anymore. I wish I did. I got a lot of stuff out there. So let's see here. I know these can change. Oh, let's do regular. Let's do medium would be nice. Oh, there you go. The wide. No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We're just going to leave this here. You know what, Chorizo? It has been, can you show the comment when it's up there? It has been like a week. The internet's been a little funky, so I don't know what's going on. So anyway, big thanks to Orland Park. Mazda of Orland Park. It's great stuff. I do not have a bunch of stuff up on. I wish I did, and that would make much more sense, but I just don't. Maybe it's Photoshop and stuff, but usually that doesn't matter. Oh, you know what? My Creative Cloud's open. I'm gonna shut that off. Let's see if the Creative Cloud was messing things up. Potentially, because it could be checking stuff. I'm not watching porn. We were in the midst of all of the kids being off school, and my wife is off work. So there has been a porn shutdown. Let's get on with the show, okay? This is Gimme 3. So right now, I'm going to give you the rarest bobbleheads in my collection, the top 3 rarest bobbleheads in my collection, okay? And these are not necessarily the most heads, which will be the second part. But because rarity always doesn't always equal to be expensive. Okay, that isn't the way it is, and that's why these 3 are not necessarily going to be the most expensive ones, but they are the rarest ones that we have. And first up, and I know everyone's going to be real excited about this. We got the Lance Lynn prototype. I already do not like the comments on the stage, so I'm taking those off. This is a Lance Lynn prototype. Back in 2022, they released a stadium giveaway, an SGA of Lance Lynn, just pitching, right? It's like a little short one. You know, he's rotund, just like he is. He's 1 weight thick. But this was one of the prototypes when they made the bobbleheads. Now, you can, they ask, the White Sox tend to ask permission or get approval from the players when they make a bobblehead for them. And Lance Lynn was shown both of these bobbleheads, and the fans would not get it. It would not understand it. And when I saw this, was our friend Mike let me see it. And he said, hey, this is the one, and Lance liked it and blah, blah, blah. But he didn't think that the fans would like it. So he did not make it. So I was really bummed out. And then I think, I don't know, it was last year or 2 years ago for Christmas, This is what I got. So yeah, this is the Lance Lynn prototype. It was never released, and there was less than 5 made. Now, from what I was told, Jason Benetti has one. Lance Lynn has one. I have one, and then there might be 2 more or something. Or that might be. This is one of my favorite bobbleheads that I have. Now, I noticed that JT has said, "Oh, there's ketchup on the hot dog." JT, actually, it is not ketchup on the hot dog. Okay. If you look at it, it's actually the hot mustard down there. And so what you're seeing red is actually the hot dog. This is just a prototype, but that is the prototype right there. I thought it was awesome. It's just a funny bobblehead, and him screaming with the beer and all that stuff. He loved the IPAs and he loved steak. So Lance Lynn Pro is probably one of the most rare baubles that I actually have in my collection. And it's one with these prototypes, it's really hard to place like a value on them because obviously none have ever sold. You're not going to see that. So like like you don't what it's how much it's worth or any of that shit. So it's just rare. It's just rare. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's worth more or anything. Next up. Oh, yep. I see. I don't have it didn't save the order that I put them in. What a dick, StreamYard. Next up is Bob Rosenberg. Now, if you're unfamiliar with who Bob Rosenberg is, Bob Rosenberg, for the longest time, I think up until 2020, was the official scorekeeper for not only the Chicago Bulls, but also the Chicago White Sox. Now, the White Sox let go. He's actually an MLB employee. The MLB let him go post-COVID, but the Bulls have not. And he has been the only official scorekeeper that the Bulls have ever had. Now, I'm lucky to know Bob Rosenberg. I bought a ton of bobbleheads from him. I have been to his house, seen his collection. His Jordan stuff is insane. One of the things that he did for Michael Jordan, or actually Michael Jordan's mom, was make scrapbooks, would keep all of the press clippings from Jordan and stuff. He has just an insane amount of stuff that is going on in his house. It was just insane. Now, the Bob Rosenberg bobblehead was a front office release bobblehead. Now, if you are unfamiliar with bobbleheads, as much as you're probably not, you're just like more of a casual giving away outing. If whoever wins the golf outing usually gets to make about 150 of their whatever bobblehead they want. And the woman who has won it picked Bob one year. Other years winners have been Billy Russo, who was the interpreter for the Sox. And Nick Capitan, our sales rep, has one. And Obama has one. They made I don't know if Obama was a full release, but I know that they made some of those. But there's front office bobbleheads, so you'll see like these randoms. Like, this is a very random bobblehead. I know 150 people have. I have 2 of them. Bob sold me 2 of them, which was nice of him to do. So I've always kept it just in case I ever needed it and I needed to pick up something. What I think is interesting is that it is a bobblehead that wouldn't get made other than the fact that both of his employers are the same person, run by the same person. So he got the Bulls and the Sox in there, and it looks exactly like Bob. Bob is just a pretty awesome dude. Been around for forever. It's just a normal sized one. That's Bob. He's awesome. Had a lot of fun stories and stuff. And then Bob got upset with me in 2016 when I didn't buy the Cubs bobbleheads from him at retail price because I flip shit. So I don't necessarily sell stuff I can't buy stuff at retail because if I buy stuff at retail, I don't make any money. So that's kind of what happened. He was holding some stuff for me. I did not ask him to hold it for me. And then there was some miscommunications. Bob's a little older. But yeah, so I think we're probably good now. I don't know. I have not reached out to Bob, but Bob doesn't work for the Sox anymore. So I don't really, it is what it is. But Bob gave me tickets for the Bulls. Very nice guy, just a great guy. And let my dad come over. Let me bring both my girls over. Actually, I think it was just a little Miss Shortstop, and she just chilled in her little car seat the entire time. She was sleeping most of the time. Bob likes to talk. Bob had a lot of stories and had a lot of good information about stuff. He would be a great guest on any of our shows. But Bob, I don't think Bob can figure out the internet. So, or he can't figure out how to get, probably tile into the StreamYard. Anyway, that Bob Rosenberg is probably the second most rare bobblehead. I don't really know. Like, these are just the three most rare. I don't know where they fall in there. But this is the last one. And I think maybe some people have heard about this one. This is the King guy. If you guys remember in 2022 or in 2021 in the playoffs, this guy, Rob Holt, who is the King guy, started twirling his cane at the opposing batters. And because he was right behind home plate, and he made it onto the game. He made it his way into our hearts as one of the coolest guys out there. Do you understand? And this is Rob Holt's King guy. Now, they made 50 pieces of this. From what we've been told, we actually talked with Mike Downey at the end of last year. And you can look up the interview that we did, and it was like a media went to his family. One of them was given to White Sox charities. They auctioned it off and went for $2,710, which is just insane. That is insane as an insane price. I think I was in it until like about 1,000. I think I was just bidding it, and then it just went nuts. But yeah, so $2,710 spent on this bobblehead, which there are 50 more, or maybe 51 more, because there's a prototype. So, but yeah, this is I know of 6 of them total. I got one on Mystery Bobblehead Night, and I was also given one, so you guys can do the math. But yeah, this is just an insane. It was going to sell for a lot when I knew it was going up for auction. I knew it was going to sell for a lot, but I didn't expect it to sell for that much. But that is has actually a really nice box too, but I don't have the box and I mean, not that you'll come across a fake one, but like on the bottom of it, it has the number on there. It says limited edition blank of 50. So this is the 43rd of 50. So this is 43. I know they gave one out for National Bobblehead Day online too. So I know somebody in one of my collectors groups, and I wonder if he was the guy that won it. But yeah, that was another one. So yeah, that was one of the very rare. Is only 50 made. Never see them. I've seen one come up for sale on the internet once, and I don't know if that's the same one that was just sold, or it's a. So that could make it 7 that I know of. But it was interesting that you just don't see them because there are a bunch out there. There are enough out there that you would see them. I'm always wondering if I'm going to see one when I get into a thrift store. But anyway, 7:00. I have one more segment I want to do, but I want to play this just one more time to get into the next segment.
From the 108 production.
Again, this is Gimmie 3. I am MySoxSummer. This is a 108 production. That music there is actually AI. Somebody's generated that in AI, and then I'm using it because I've learned that I need to go to the places that have royalty-free music and use that. What I wanted to use for the intro song was 3 Strange Days by shoot, I can't remember the band, but Three Strange Days. A good hold on. I can't do this without knowing who this the band is. School of Fish, Three Strange Days. It's a 90s, definitely a 90s song. So if you want to hear some straight up freaking 90s shit, get in there, go listen to that shit. I'm MySoxSummer. This is Gimmie 3. What we're going to talk about here in the second half of this is the most expensive bobbleheads that are in my collection. The most expensive bobbleheads in my collection on Gimmie 3 with MySoxSummer. Now, it's been a while since I bought these bobbleheads, so I can't give you the price that I paid because it would be more today. I am without a doubt, no, that Kane guy is probably the most expensive bobblehead that I have, but is also one of the most rare. So I decided to most rare. Okay, so it is not going to be in the most expensive, although he probably is. Yeah, everything's running a little slow. So King Guy will not be in here, but he probably is the most expensive bobblehead in my collection, according to recent sales. First up, from the part of the fantasy camp selection, is Art Cave Custner. It was a fantasy camp release, which if you guys don't know what fantasy camp is a time right before spring training. You have a lot of staff and whatever from the White Sox out there, and you get old players, alumni players, like think Ron Kittle, Harold Baines, come out, and you get to play baseball with them. You pay, I think it was like $3,000 to $5,000 or something. I mean, it's something ridiculous. They give you a full-on outfit. They give you a full uniform, jersey, name on it. You get to go out there, you practice with the guys, and then you get in there and you play baseball with these guys on the fields in years. They gave out bobbleheads, and instead of doing like a typical player bobblehead, they did like coaches, they did alumni, they did guys that are probably at fantasy camp. So Art Cave Custom one, and if you look at this, like this is not an AI picture. This is my actual bobblehead. The logo on the hat, horrible. Like it looks just not even look good. It's a fat body style too. Like the numbers on the jersey, rough. The jersey, the logo on the jersey, rough. It's just an odd looking thing. This was like the in between when they would do like the little fat body bobbleheads that just were guys were standing there, maybe holding a bat on the side, and more of the action poses that you see today with the bobbleheads. This was in between version because it seems like he's trying to be more realistic, but then you look at his hand that is supposed to be a glove, and I don't know. It's not a glove. It's a very odd looking thing. This was the first one they gave away. We know no one really knows how many they made, but we're guessing there's less than 100 of them. And I'm pretty sure I paid $600 for this years ago. And so I'm just saying that the value of this is probably over 700, but I'm not exactly sure. It could go for more, could go for less. This depends on who's needing it and who really wants. Oh, it's funny because friend, it was a collector, but him and his dad used to set up at flea markets and would go to house auctions and stuff. And he had found, I think he had found a Pachoric, and he sold it before he even offered it to me. And I had done something for him, and I said, hey, just if you find any fantasy camp bobbles, please just let me know before you sell them. Let me make you a first offer before you sell it. And he ended up selling it before I got a chance to even like put a bid on it. And I reminded him that he owed me that. So I said to him, I go, hey, if you ever find another one, you need to hook me up. And he goes, I will, blah, blah, blah. This was the first one. He came across this almost immediately after. I think he paid $3 for it. So a pretty good come up. I think I didn't pay straight 600. I traded some other stuff and gave him cash. Had to pick it up in Joliet. But yeah, it was a day. It was a day for me. But this was a very cool, awesome fantasy game Bible, and it was the first one that they released. So it's part of the series. They're mostly are autographed because he autographed all of them. They probably went to a fantasy camp player, and then it's just rough. It's just different looking. It's an old, I don't know, just basic base, everything. But yeah, that was that's the cave. That's what a lot of people talk about, the fantasy camp bobbleheads, and that's one of them. That's a very hard one to come by, and people are always excited about it and I want to see it. But yeah, for a long time, that was probably my most expensive bobblehead I had and owned. But then I bought some other stuff. And this one is probably it's very high up there on as rare as well as most expensive. And this is the Jermaine Dye 2005 World Series MVP bobblehead, which was available at the retail locations. I think you'd order them online too. I bought a collection from a friend, and he of all the 2005s, and he had this, and he had the invoices in there. And I think he bought them online. I think he bought them directly from FOCO for other collectibles. But the Jermaine Dye MVP was the rarest of all of them. And it was probably because his hand broke a lot, body broke a lot. They're very fragile. It's bigger than the other ones. I don't think they package them very well. And I think that's kind of why it is there, is that's at least what they told me at Grandstand when I asked. It's much bigger than the regular bottles in this set. There's a 12 a bobblehead set. Jermaine has two. He has the MVP and a regular one. And yeah, I guess it was just a lot of them were broken in shipping. I've sold one for a friend. I was a go between some people. I sold one for I think 1,400. And I've seen them sell as low as 700. So I don't know that it's probably worth the 1,400 anymore. But I know people that have these, and that's another way how I can kind of gauge how rare it is. I don't think it's as rare, but it's a very desirable bobblehead and hard to find. So people pay up for it. So I'm saying it's probably going to be over $1,000 if you were to find one and you're going to sell it. So if you have one in your closet at home, congratulations. Let me know. I will sell for you and only take 30%. No, I wouldn't do that because it's not a hard thing to sell. It's a very easy thing to sell. It's just finding the right people. And I just happen to know those people. So that's one thing that I do decently is sell some stuff. So the Jermaine Dye MVP, I got that here. It's a very cool bobble. And it has, if you can see, it has numbers on the bottom. Now, what I was told, okay, is they're limited to 2005, but they did not make them. They make them based on orders. So I know when the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, the chart got out, like the numbers got out from one of the FOCO reps, and they said, this is how many people have ordered this. This is how many people have ordered this. So if you're an enterprising young person like myself, you are going to go and buy the ones that people aren't ordering, because if they don't order them, they're not going to get them because they're not going to make anymore. So I ordered a bunch that I heard were low number, like a low number of orders, like cheered. Okay. So I bought a lot of these things and I made good money on them. Clark was another one that you could flip pretty easily. So that I think with the Sox, like it's probably the same way. And I was told that when they opened up even some of these boxes and opened these bobbleheads, some of the bobbleheads had the same number on them. So you don't know really how many they made. So if you could look at a 500 piece one, it has 500 on it or something, and they maybe made 400, maybe they didn't. You don't know. They might just write stuff. FOCO for Forever Collectibles is just notorious on things. So who knows how many people or how many of these were actually made, but I've seen enough to know that there's at least 300 to 400 of them out there. And I'm always shocked when somebody goes that's worth that much. I have that, and that's happened 2 times, and I've sold one of them. So yeah, the Jermaine Dye 2005 World Series MVP bobblehead is pretty well regarded as a high one. This is awesome too. I always like that they had the World Series patch on the hats. I think that is just cool. It's the detail that you like. I'm really freaked out that I'm not. Okay, cool. I'll be up in a little bit. Okay. I got my daughter coming down here trying to get engaged on the show. Can't do it. I have one more thing. Please. Thank you. Yeah, this is why I almost didn't do it tonight, but I did anyway. Now, if you've noticed, there is a scroller on the below me. We're having a Sox Fest after party on January 31st at 7:30 p.m. over at Reggie's. It is a $20 ticket. What's the fees? It's 20 something. You should go buy it. Talk to Vino today. Vino is probably in. I saw his sister and brother-in-law over at the Costco. There's this place to be today. Bonita was there too. So you should go. Over there. Go to 108.ing/party. You can get your tickets today. There are tickets remaining. There's still some tickets out there. You should get out there and do that. It's going to be a time, folks. I mean, if I made that good of a graphic for it, it's going to be a fun time. It is the official, unofficial Sox Fest after party. So yeah, after Sox Fest is over, I think it gets done about 7. We're rolling, and we're going to start talking at 9. So you get in there and get all lubed up for 9. Now, this last bobblehead is expensive. I don't know how much these go for either. I think I paid $300, $400. Bobbles Jim found it for me. I don't remember exactly what it was. He had overpaid on something, so he kind of like pushed me. But it was probably fair, and now it was definitely a good buy because I think they've gone up. You just don't see these very often. And it is the Camelback Ozzie Guillen. Now, some of you are at home going, I have that bobblehead. And I'm going to tell you, no, you don't. They released this same bobblehead, same pose, same style 3 times. There's one, it was the HL release that was given away at the stadium. That was the first one. They did Hispanic Heritage Night, which was the same style, same pose and everything. They also did this Camelback Ranch. Now, Camelback Ranch is where the White Sox play spring training games. And this was in 2009. They opened up and they gave these out allegedly to suite holders. So people that had spent a lot of money on suites at Camelback Ranch got one of these. And I think the White Sox fans got the Ozzie Guillen, and the Dodger fans got a Joe Torre. Joe Torre, from what I remember, it's been a while, but the Joe Torre one is not worth as much as the Ozzie Guillen and seems to be a little less rare. And Dodger fans are pretty crazy about their bobbleheads too. So I just from what I remember is they did not sell for as much as the Ozzie did, and you can find them more. They're a little bit more plentiful. So maybe they just made more of them. I'm not exactly sure, but there are a Joe Torre version. It is basically the same thing. He's in a Dodgers jacket, arms crossed, and there's the Camelback Ranch placard in front of him. So yeah, I don't know how much this is worth per se, but I'm willing to venture over $1,000. I don't see them. I don't really see them come up very often, if at all. So that's something. So if you don't see him and I'm looking, that's him. That's the Ozzie. Now mine is autographed by Ozzie. which people have mixed feelings. Bobbleheads, but I like them because it's really what all I collect. So it's cool to just have. I like it. So yeah, the odds again, Camelback Ranch, probably one of the most expensive bobbleheads I own, other than the King Guy, because the King Guy is probably number one. But yeah, so the Camelback Ranch Odyssey. So that's it. This is Gimme 3. Now I'm going to do different things as this goes on. I'll just try different stuff, things that I collect, things that I like. I'm just going to take 3 things, and we'll talk about them. And that's what the game is. So hey, congrats to the Bears. Congrats to the Chicago White Sox for signing a free agent, a banger, a guy that's going to hit a lot of baseballs out into 108, hopefully. That's going to be awesome. We got to have some fun things next year for home runs for him and Colson. That would be great. This is probably the last show until 2026. I'm pretty sure, because Christmas is next Thursday, or is this Thursday. And then I don't think we're doing anything after that, but so happy New Year. Merry Christmas from me, MySoxSummer. Hey, you know what? Before we're gone, let's just do this, because I'll get one other one in for these guys. If you're going to buy a new car, you should get your ass down to Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom. That's right. This Christmas, give yourself or someone you really like the gift that keeps on giving. The thrill of a new Mazda. Sleighs are great, but Mazda's got all-wheel drive, Sky Active technology, and that unmistakable Zoom joy you can't get from reindeer power. Unwrap incredible holiday offers on your favorite models: the Mazda CX-5, the Mazda 3, and the CX-90. Plus, right now, Mazda is offering special holiday financing, generous trade-in values, and warm cookies and hot cocoa in the showroom all season long. Whether you're dashing through the snow or cruising to Grandma's house, Mazda of Orland Park has the perfect vehicle to make your holidays merry, bright, and unforgettable. Stop in today and drive home the magic. Mazda of Orland Park, where the spirit of the season meets the joy of the drive. Folks, thanks for tuning in. It will get better, or if you thought that was good, it will get worse as it goes on. I have a lot of different things to throw at you. So you can see it was not always going to be a live show. This is probably going to be a tape the broadcast show. I'm not going to probably be doing live very often, but we'll throw them out there when I have a chance, and just have a very safe and happy holiday season from me and my guy Joey P. So, all right. Well, thank you guys very much. I will talk to you guys soon. Happy.
I don't care if you've been naughty or nice, as long as you bought your tickets to party with From the 108. Ho, ho, ho.